What's up, everyone? This is Domingo of Martial World Action Cinema, and since I'm going to have some free time this week, I will be going over in depth my current movie collection, and I will break down how I have it specifically categorized and how I'm going to go about it from here on out as I get more movies. And if anyone who's nefarious and bold and thinking they can just come up here and grab my shit, I have a good old Professor Xavier quote for you.
I feel a great swell of pity for the poor soul that comes to my school looking for trouble.
I'm going to start off with my favorite martial arts VHS movies, and I have Yusuke watching over them, as well as one of my favorite records, Herb Alpert's Tijuana Brass, Whipped Cream and Other Delights. Really cool, I guess, samba music, for lack of a better term. But here we go. So I've got this Mastering Wing Chun Fundamental Techniques by Panther Productions. Got Big Trouble in Little China. For anyone who truly knows me knows this is one of my favorite films of all time. The Tai Sang VHS version of Fist of Legend. And then this little Bruce Lee section, which I have pretty much all of them other than Game of Death. So Enter the Dragon, Way of the Dragon, or Return of the Dragon as some would call it. The Big Boss, also known as Fist of Fury. And then the Chinese Connection, which is actually the original Fist of Fury. And then Brandon Lee's 1992 Rapid Fire, which I watched last night. Jet Li's Romeo Must Die. Not his best film, but I love it for nostalgia reasons. It's something I watched a lot as a kid, and it just has an awesome hip-hop soundtrack featuring Aaliyah, DMX, and many more. 2 copies of Roadhouse. If it is not evident, clearly I like Roadhouse. I have an unopened copy and an open copy. I don't know if I want to open the sealed one. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I also have it on DVD, so I'm not hurt on watching Roadhouse. I definitely have options. Van Damme's The Quest, or as I like to say, Bloodsport of the 90s. And then probably Van Damme's best 90s movie, which is a very high opinion, but Lionheart. I think it is his best 90s movie, especially since it kicks off the gate with the beginning of that decade. We have the good, not so good live action adaptation of Street Fighter from 94. Another movie that has an amazing hip hop soundtrack. Another movie, if you can't tell, I like a lot is Jet Li's Black Mask. I have a well-preserved copy and then one that's got a torn cover. And this is another movie that I pretty much have in all formats. I have it on DVD and then 4K Blu-ray. One of my favorite Jackie movies, even though Police Story 1 is the most influential and iconic of the Police Story series, Super Cop, aka Police Story 3, has such a special place in my heart, and for the fact that it's got Michelle Yeoh in it. Rush Hour 1 and 2 on VHS. And then a sleeper gem of a Jackie Chan movie, which I'm surprised many people haven't seen, but that would have to be 1999's Gorgeous, also starring the late, great Bradley Allen, who's just, if you're familiar with martial arts action cinema and fan of the genre, you will know that Bradley Allen was such a gem and a staple to the action community. And, it was not... It comes with a heavy heart to learn of his passing when I found out. And it's tough because he was just an extraordinary, human being and just massively talented in the martial arts. But moving on from Gorgeous, which if you have a chance to, definitely check it out. We got a little Chuck Norris section with Missing in Action Parte Una and then Missing in Action Parte Dos. My favorite Chuck Norris movie, Lone Wolf McQuade. A Force of One, which is fire. And I guess, to be fair, even though he's not, the main star of the movie, this would have to be my favorite Chuck Norris movie, which is Sidekicks, which is directed by his brother, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron Norris. And then to finish off this section, I have Parte Una of Best of the Best, which is probably one of my favorite out of all the Best of the Best. Part 2 is my favorite in terms of action, but in terms of like a movie that has pure heart and emotion, Best of the Best 1 certainly is a superior film. And then my favorite, I could watch any time of the week, day, month, year, whatever, is Jeff Speaksman, The Perfect Weapon. Such an awesome movie. And then, of course, the good, not so good, 1997 Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Say what you will, I'm a big fan of the 90s Mortal Kombat movies, especially Part 1, but Part 2, has a fun place in my heart as well. And I actually got to see it in theaters when it came out initially in 97 as a kid. So I'm always going to have a nostalgia goggles for it. But yep, that is my current martial arts movie VHS section. Obviously, I will get more, but this is where it's at right now. And thank you, Yusuke, for watching over those VHSs of mine.